The Ric Flair Show.
My name's Ric Flair.
Woo! Woo! To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo! Right here, I'm the man.
The 16-time world champion.
Woo!
Back behind the mic and telling it like it is.
Woo! If you're not carrying the big gold, you're second best no matter what you tell yourself. I'm the best. Y'all playing catch-up ball to the nature boy.
And now, your hosts of The Ric Flair Show, Ric Flair and Conrad Thompson.
Woo!
Hey, this is the nature boy Ric Flair, 16 times your world champion, on the eve of Thanksgiving, along with my most gracious, most famous co-host, Conrad Thompson, owner of the Conradison. A man that is the second wealthiest man in the history of the state of Alabama.
Oh, my gosh.
A man that has served 5,000 Omaha Steaks and about to serve more. A man that loves my family as much as we love him. God bless you, Conrad. God bless the Conradison. Happy Thanksgiving. I will see you Friday, brother. Woo, woo, woo.
And now we've got a hell of a show. All right, Rick, let's get started. We are bringing the holidays in, right? We're Naitching here on the Ric Flair Show. And let's get into the Figure 4 top stories brought to you by IndoChino.com. This week, our listeners can get any premium Indo Chino suit for just $3.89 whenever you use promo code FLAIR at checkout. That's 50% off the regular price for a made-to-measure, custom-made premium suit with free shipping. That's IndoChino.com and use promo code FLAIR to get a premium suit for only $3.89 and free shipping. All right, Rick, top story number one. Bill Goldberg dominated Brock Lesnar at the Survivor Series in Toronto. What did you think of this match, and would you have booked it this way, and what do you think these guys do from here?
I'm still in shock, to be honest with you. A minute and 26 seconds, I don't know. Well, obviously they're going to have a rematch. I'm not there. I'm not behind the scenes. The one thing I do know is that the girls' Raw team had the best match. The girls' Raw team against the girls' SmackDown team was the best match on the show. And I'm not saying that was any prejudice. It really was. They were awesome. I'm sure you watched it. With Brock and Bill, I don't know what happened there. I mean, I don't know because I'm not behind the scenes. I'll find out Monday when I'm with you at Raw.
Well, I liked it. I thought it got over Goldberg. I thought that's what got over Goldberg originally, and this is probably what they should have been doing with Goldberg when they first had him.
It was great. No, I thought it was great. I mean, first of all, they both, it's hard to figure out what goes through Brock's mind, but I mean, it was great for Goldberg, and it's their favorite saying is, what's good for business. They obviously have a great rematch there, and obviously I've talked to Bill. He wants to work some more. So there you go.
Yeah, he'll be involved at the Royal Rumble, and we'll see what holds from here. I'm curious, would you even consider having him win the Rumble and headline WrestleMania for a title shot, or no?
With the momentum he has right now, I mean, Brock did him the biggest favor that I've seen done in the business in a long time. I mean, really, think about it. He just beat Brock Lesnar in a minute and 26 seconds. And convincingly. I mean, and Bill, they both look great. Bill looked to be in great shape. My concern was that he wouldn't be ready, not for any fault of his own, but to be ready to be bounced around by Brock, but they didn't have to experience it, and he looked like $1 million. So I'm happy for both of them.
Let's get to top story.
They're both making a lot of money, especially Brock.
Yeah. Yeah, if he's getting paid by the hour, his fee is through the roof right now.
Yeah. And happy Thanksgiving to both of them.
Absolutely. Top story number two. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Shane McMahon was shook up pretty badly at Survivor Series. Did you see this, Rick? And do you think his in-ring career should continue at this point, or is it worth the risk? Do you think?
Well, I'm told that he wasn't hurt. So once again, I'm just hearing that from the outside, that he wasn't hurt. He's going to be okay. You know, he lives for that thrill. I mean, he lives for that moment, and as long as he's comfortable doing it and everything, I see no problem with it. I mean, he likes it, and he always has, and you know, he's not doing it for the money, so he's doing it because he enjoys it. And I mean, why take something away from him that he enjoys?
The rumors online would lead you to believe that the WrestleMania plan is Undertaker versus John Cena and Brock Lesnar versus Shane McMahon. What do you think about Brock Lesnar, Shane McMahon at WrestleMania?
I don't see that. I see Brock. I see Shane versus Hunter at WrestleMania.
Wow, that could be fun.
Yeah, that's what I see. That would really draw money.
Let's get
considering the unknown animosity, which nobody seems to understand or know, but clearly there is some.
Well, there's also a little bit in top story number 3. We've not had a show since this happened. I want you to kind of put a bow on it, I guess. Big Van Vader was tweeting lots of negative stuff about you recently. I think you guys have spoken. Where are things now with you guys?
Great, awesome.
All patched up and good to go.
Yeah, it's all worked out.
Good.
You know, just I was frustrated because I had no idea what was going on, but I know that he's that he's very ill, and I think he's been given, you know, I think a doctor has given an estimated time of the length of his life. So he has the same problem that Jack Mulligan had, and obviously it caught up with Jack. So hopefully his time frame is longer than I heard, but. I've never had a problem with Leon. Enjoyed working with him, and as we said before, we were celebrating the moment in the match. He took it as though we were cracking on him, which is pretty immature. But you know, I'm fine. I'm happy with him, and we had a nice talk, and everything's cool.
Good. Glad to hear it. Top story number 4. Something's pretty cool with the Nature Boys all over ESPN. Highly questionable last week, and then First Take this week. With all this ESPN stuff going on, are you just branching off into sports broadcasting?
It's fun to talk about wrestling, but at this time of the year, as I'm looking at TV right now, it's still hard for me to see Alabama number 1.
Oh my
struggling
gosh.
with that. And after, as you saw in my thing for First Take, someone's going to beat Alabama. It's going to be Michigan after they beat Ohio State. And hopefully I'm at the Michigan game this weekend in Columbus, so I can tell all the fans there, in the words of DX, to suck it.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, we get this question all the time since we're talking about ESPN. Kind of tell the listeners what updates there are, if any, about your ESPN 30 for 30.
It's going to air. I worked it out this week. It's going to air in the month of April.
Well, there you go. April.
Yeah, they were trying to hold it back till summer, but our Charlotte book and my book come out. Second Nature comes out July 16th, and you know, why run them side by side? And I like April because it's not summertime. People are still at home, not on vacation. So it's somewhere around April 15th, right after WrestleMania. I was hoping before WrestleMania, but this should say something to the people that understand wrestling or don't understand. They didn't want to go up against the momentum of WrestleMania with 30 for 30. And that speaks volumes for how big WrestleMania is, as you know.
Absolutely. You mentioned the book. We didn't touch on that this week. Catch everybody up. You and Charlotte have a book coming out. It's called Second Nature. What's the premise of the book?
Well, it's me starting from the day I retired in Orlando in 2008, and her starting with her career. And I'll be with Brian, the author, 2 days this week, Wednesday and Thursday, talking about problems that I brought upon myself, bad choices, etc. And then it talks about people like you that helped me get back on my feet and get me going, and now I'm back on top. So, and you'll be a big part of the conversation, trust me.
Well, I'm looking forward to the book. The cover has leaked. If you're interested in seeing it, you can check it out. I'm sure it's on Instagram and social media everywhere. Second Nature coming to you in July. of this year, and the 30 for 30 documentary. We get that question all the time. It's April 2017. But what you need to know is how you can make these holidays even a little sweeter. And coming up, we've got a giveaway for $141 worth of Omaha Steaks for free. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Will you buy me one of those too?
All right, now we're here to talk about Dollar Shave Club. And, man, if there's a thing Ric Flair knows about, it's blades. Can we agree on that, Rick?
We can certainly agree on that point.
And here's the deal. Now you don't have to sacrifice or choose between price or quality. You can get an amazing shave and at an affordable price. DollarShaveClub.com is the answer you've been looking for. And to prove how amazing their shave really is, they're giving you the very first month for free. They're going to deliver amazing razors right to your door at the third of the price is what you'll see at the drugstore hassles. They lock that stuff up with a fortress. Now you just go open the front door and you're good to go. Just go to DollarShaveClub.com and pick a razor that works for you. That's all you've got to do. Rick and I use the executive blade. He loves Dr. Carver's shave butter. Me, myself, I'm just trimming up around the beard, and it looks great thanks to Dollar Shave Club. Here's what you need to do. Go to DollarShaveClub.com, and you're going to get your first month for free. You just have to pay the shipping. After that, just a couple bucks a month, no long-term commitment, and no hidden fees. There's no reason not to do it. Get yours at DollarShaveClub.com/Flair. That's DollarShaveClub.com. What's the / Rick?
It's FLAIR, Flair.
DollarShaveClub.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got something a little different for you right now on the Ric Flair Show. We've got the CEO of Omaha Steaks with us, Mr. Todd Simon, joining us on the line. How's it going today, Mr. Simon?
It's excellent, and, the day before Thanksgiving, we're all getting ready to get together with our families.
Absolutely, and that's why we're here to talk about Omaha Steaks. And stay tuned, because in just a moment, we're going to give away an unbelievable prize pack from Omaha Steaks that Mr. Simon has generously donated to the listeners of the Ric Flair Show. But if you don't win this opportunity, everybody's a winner when they go to omahasteaks.com. I've got a confession to make, Rick. You and I have eaten Omaha Steaks together a dozen times at my house. What's your favorite part about Omaha Steaks?
I've been eating them for 20 years. They're great. Are you kidding?
I knew you were a man of taste and distinction.
Yeah, and you don't have to go to the grocery store. They're sitting at your doorstep. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, a supermarket steak kind of is what it is. The best of the best, the cream of the crop. That is an Omaha steak, and people really enjoy this. I know Rick and I do, for the convenience and the time savings. But specifically what we want to talk about now is the holiday traditions, because everybody's in gift-giving mode and meal preparation mode. And we have a long-standing tradition here at the Thompson residence, the Conradison we call it. We have steak on Christmas Eve. We do the turkey and everything else on Christmas Day, but on Christmas Eve, for years and years now, we've had steak, and it seems like steak is kind of a holiday tradition. Don't you agree, Todd?
I do, and I think it's excellent that you guys have made it into a holiday tradition at your home. A lot of people use Omaha Steaks for great gifts, and if you go to omahasteaks.com, you'll see a whole variety of choices priced from $29.99 to as much as you want to spend. We've got things like 5-ounce filet mignons, and we've got things like 48-ounce T-bone steaks. So really everything in between that you can use for grilling, for roasting, for smoking. I'll be smoking some steaks on Christmas myself. And then we also have these complete meals, which are awesome. So you can bring the whole family together at a fraction of the time and a fraction of the cost of doing it yourself. So Thanksgiving's tomorrow. It's a little late to order the Omaha Steaks Thanksgiving dinner, but a lot of people will eat a turkey dinner on Christmas. A lot of people eat a ham dinner on New Year's. So a lot of opportunities to get full, complete meals. And we've got meals for 10 that cost $160 to $175 with no trips to the grocery store.
And it doesn't get any easier than that. Let's run through what's in the holiday package. You get an 8-pound spiral sliced ham. You get 4 12-ounce packages of the fall roasting vegetables. You get 8 3-ounce packages of the potatoes au gratin. You get 4 11-ounce packages of the cornbread and sausage stuffing. And then you get a 40-ounce gourmet cheesecake sampler. The cheesecake sampler is maybe the most underrated thing at omahasteaks.com.
It really is one of our most popular desserts, and what's great is that you get 3 slices each of 4 different kinds of cheesecake. So there's something for everybody in the cheesecake sampler. And if you don't like cheesecake, we've got things like pies and individual apple tarts and berry tarts and all sorts of other. In fact, desserts have become very popular as we go into our 100th year anniversary of Omaha Steaks.
It's worth mentioning these guys have been around 100 years right here in America, based out of Omaha, Nebraska, and they've introduced something new, Todd, I want you to tell us about. This is fascinating to me. It's a Belgian chocolate T-bone. What in the world's going on here?
So we just decided that we were going to need that it's really nice to have kind of a small, fun dessert, kind of sweet. And so, and a lot of times when you go to someone's house at the holiday time, they have a little bowl of chocolates around or some toffee or something like that. So we thought, we started to sell toffee a couple of years ago, and then we said, wouldn't it be fun and novel for people who are steak lovers and people who just love to grill and love to smoke to give them something that kind of fit with their passion. So we came up with a Belgian chocolate in the shape of a T-bone, and not only do they look cool and they're really fun, but they taste delicious.
Absolutely. And let's give away something that tastes delicious. It's called the Tasteful Gift, and it's our gift to you just for listening to the Ric Flair Show. We're going to give away one lucky winner, the holiday gift that keeps on giving, man. And here's what you need to know about these gift packages. Giving somebody a gift is okay, but giving somebody an experience, man, it's hard to beat that, especially around these holidays. If you give a gift of Omaha Steaks, it's going to include other friends, other family members. It's an experience that will go forever and ever. And that's what the Tasteful Gift can do for you. And we're going to give it away right here on the Ric Flair Show. All you need to do is go ahead and subscribe to the Ric Flair Show and then post a screenshot showing that you're subscribed and use the hashtag Ric Flair Show. And next week on the show, we're going to pick one lucky winner of this very awesome Tasteful Gift prize package that Todd Simon from Omaha Steaks has donated. It's 2 filet mignons. It's 2 top sirloins. It's 2 boneless pork chops. It's 4 potatoes au gratin, 4 caramel apple tartlets, and maybe the most underrated thing on here, 1 packet of the Omaha Steak seasoning. Your steak is going to taste like $1 million. It's Nature Boy approved. It's the official steak of the Ric Flair Show. And all you've got to do to get this Tasteful Gift prize pack, only one winner now, go ahead and tweet using hashtag Ric Flair Show and post a screenshot that you're subscribed. And we appreciate that gift from you, Mr. Simon. And if you're looking for a gift to give away this holiday season, where do they need to go?
Well, you just got to go to omahasteaks.com, or you call our 800 number, which is 800-228-9055. We also have about 75 retail stores around the country. If you go to omahasteaks.com, click on the stores link, you can find the closest one to you.
Thanks for having us today, Mr. Simon. We appreciate your generosity with this gift, and we look forward to enjoying more Omaha Steaks together with you in the future.
Well, thanks. Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays to you, sir. Thank you so much for this, Simon.
No, this is awesome.
Rick, I got to tell you, I'm excited to talk about this sponsor. Even as a youngster, what I knew about Ric Flair is that he was custom made from head to toe. When did you first start saying that?
In 1978.
Since 1978, the Nature Boy has been the sharpest dressed man in the room, and now you can be, thanks to IndoChino.com. All you need to know about this is it's custom made to measure suits that are going to fit you impeccably. This is what Rick was talking about on TV back in TBS days. This is not a generic off-the-rack suit. He used to talk about this costs $800, and I don't know what that costs. I'd be ashamed to wear it. You won't ever be ashamed to wear an Indo Chino suit. This thing is going to make you look like you're supposed to look. Looking only as you can look. Go to IndoChino.com.
Looking only as you can.
There you go. Come on. This stuff is going to be great fitting, and it's high-quality stuff. You get the suits, you get the shirts, everything you need. You can pick from hundreds of fabrics and patterns. You can even choose your customizations, from your lapels to your pleats to your jacket linings, everything. All you've got to do is submit your body measurements. Then just kick back, relax, and get ready to step into the most stylish suit you've ever worn. It only takes about 4 weeks, but check this out. Here's what you need to know. Just because you listen to the Ric Flair Show, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars like the Nature Boy did. Now you can get a custom-made suit from Indo Chino for only $389. That's right, $389 at IndoChino.com. What promo code do they use, Rick?
FLAIR, Flair.
That's 50% off the regular price. It's made to measure. It's premium. You're going to be custom made from head to toe, and the shipping is free. Punch it in right now. IndoChino.com. IndoChino.com. And what's the promo code, Rick?
Flair, custom made from head to toe. Woo, woo, woo.
$3.89 and free shipping. Hook it up right now. IndoChino.com.
My name is Ric Flair, and this is How to Be the Man. I haven't been available for the last 2 weeks, but to be the man is to walk out of that trailer on game day, walk onto the stage, and probably the most popular ESPN segment going today, Game Day, sitting down with Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, Reese Davis, and my brother from Michigan, Desmond Howard, and having the most wonderful experience of my life. If I have a bucket list, that's one of them. And that is what I call being the man. I'm Ric Flair. Thank you.
You're listening to The Ric Flair Show.
Anything I need to know about you?
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
And now, more Ric Flair.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor today, the day before Thanksgiving, to have on our show, the Ric Flair Show, along with my co-host Conrad Thompson, a guy that, in many people's estimation, would certainly have been a world champion during his career, if not for a terrible tragedy, which we will talk about in the body of this show. The legendary Magnum TA, my good friend Terry Allen. Mag, how are you, man?
Man, it is so good to be here, especially the day before Thanksgiving. I am thankful to be talking to my old friend.
Yeah, God, for so many years. The accident was 1986, right?
30 years ago.
Yeah, because I was in Birmingham, Alabama, working for the Fullers, and I got that call, man, and I walked into the hospital, and in those days, guys, and Terry, I hope you don't mind me telling it, life support was that big tin can. It's not like it is today where they have a tube and all that. Terry was laying in that iron lung. The only way he could communicate, he used to tell me, was with his tongue on that little compressor. Am I saying that right, Terry?
Oh, yeah, because I didn't have anything that could move, so if I needed something, I had this tongue compressor thing in front of me, and I was supposed to hit that with my tongue or call somebody. It was absolutely the most horrendous position to find yourself in a nanosecond that anybody could ever imagine being in.
I remember I used to go see him every day. I think it was 30 days where you could move anything, wasn't it?
So much time's gone by. I know it was quite a while. I know right after the surgery, I had a little bit of movement in my left arm, so they were really encouraged that something was happening because I couldn't move anything from my neck down prior to them operating. But I was in ICU for 30 days and 5 months total there at the facility in Charlotte, and I was just very blessed to be able to walk out of that place on my own 2 feet.
Yeah, thank God. And I have to tell you something that only a few people would know this. In the first 10 days that Terry was in the hospital, Conrad, the hospital got 120,000 letters.
Wow.
120,000. He was Elvis.
Wow.
The girls loved him. He was extremely handsome, great body, a damn good worker, very good, great worker, and probably was going to be the guy to beat me for the title next. Everything was working for him perfect. Great parents, who I was very close to, and man, all of a sudden he liked driving those cars fast. He was like Barry. Magnum and Barry were in those Porsches, man. He liked driving it fast, but I think the problem with that night was not so much speed, was the fact you didn't have your seatbelt on, right?
Well, the whole problem was, I mean, anytime you hydroplane on a wet road means you were driving too fast for conditions. Yeah. So, I mean, I was only running 50 miles an hour which was too fast for conditions. But after driving that car, you know, like I had driven it, you know, that seemed like you were walking. And, you know, and I was just so big to be plugged into that little car. When I drove the car, I had to lay the seat back a little bit so I had enough headroom to sit in it. And my shoulder was right up against the door. So I had nowhere to go. A seat belt wouldn't have saved me from breaking my neck. I'd had to have a full-blown racing harness on or something that would have held me down in the seat, because a blow took me up into the roof because I had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And so
when you promote the show, Conrad, you need to pull a picture of the car. Have you ever seen it?
It's unbelievable. It's hard to believe that anybody even was able to survive.
The car was,
like
there was nothing left of it. It is unbelievable. So, well, he's alive today and doing well. He invested his money as he and his dad started a cellular tower business that became very successful. And he's making money, and got a beautiful family. He's in a good place. And you're going to see him. He's coming down to Raw on Monday, so you'll see him, Conrad.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So, Terry, what do you think of the business today?
I think it is absolutely amazing, and really my hat's off to, you know, the whole WWE organization. I mean, the network that they've built, where they've been able to capture the things that we did, you know, 30 years ago, and you know, keep it preserved where people can, you know, turn on a network and watch it 24/7 and you know, reminisce and watch the old stuff. It's very cool, and the athletes are just absolutely, you know, amazing, you know, what they do. I couldn't imagine doing it just the way they do it, because it's so different than what you and I did, Rick, but hats off to them, because it's a tremendous task. And, you know, they have a very entertaining program they produce each and every week.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. And television being as competitive as it is right now, they, you know how hard they work to present a different product every day. It's insanity. Guys like Vince and Hunter and Michael Hayes and those guys, they literally work 24 hours a day, you know, on these damn TV shows, you know, trying to make sure that they, you know, the segments are in the right place, and the time allotment, the matches are right. It's a real credit to who they are. A lot of people complain about it, but, you know, you have to have been what Terry and I did, you know, which was 365 days a year, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, and sometimes twice on Wednesday. I mean, you know, it's insanity. But we loved it. We wouldn't have missed a minute of it, man. We couldn't wait to get on that jet, go do our thing, and then take the jet somewhere else. Am I saying that right, Mag?
Oh, you are. And, you know, the thing of it is that I keep up with it. I watch it, you know, every week, and, you know, I watch the Divas show, and I watch the Bella show, and I watch Daniel Bryan. Oh, yeah, of course. You know,
Does your wife know
Magnum. Well, yeah, she watches it too. She's right there. You know, it's all cool. But you know, I watch
Can I talk about the fact that the flight attendants were playing with you with their feet in Hawaii from our trip to Honolulu?
Oh, well, you could, yeah, I do remember that. I remember the show on the plane.
That was a different wife.
The show.
Yeah, that was the first iteration.
Yeah,
but you know,
the flight attendants at the Waikiki Hilton spent the weekend with us at the pool at the Sheraton. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you know, yeah, none of that stuff would fly today. I mean, we got away with murder.
Really,
I mean, there's just yeah.
I can't even get through TSA in Boston when I'm having a drink.
Yeah, well, I know. Yeah, I had to watch TMZ just to know you're alive and kicking, so I can keep up with you.
I know. Hey, I was at a sports show this weekend, which is a great line. I got to tell you guys. So I'm with Lawrence Taylor, and Joe Montana walks in the room, and Lawrence Taylor's sitting in a chair signing helmets, like you've seen him, Conrad, right?
Yeah.
He looks up at Joe and said, "Jesus, Joe, you're looking old." And Joe Montana said, "Hell, LT, I didn't know you were still alive." LT had to get him up and give him a high five on that one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was, there's nothing Lawrence Taylor ever did that me and Mag didn't do twice as hard. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we were a little ahead of our time. You know, you took me under your wing and showed me the ropes when we got that mainstream.
Don't put that heat on me.
Oh yeah, I was just trying to keep up.
Yeah,
I was just trying to keep up with you.
You were doing just fine in Little Rock at the Holiday Inn.
Well, that's true, and the Helmsley Palace and every other place from here to Kalamazoo. Yeah, a lot of good memories.
Okay, Conrad, you start talking wrestling, okay?
Yeah.
Meg and I could talk about the partying forever.
Well, that's what everybody wants to hear, but no doubt about it. Let's talk about when you guys first worked together in Crockett. I believe, sir, you came into the territory in December of '84. Is that right?
I did, and I got to work with Rick one time when I was working for Bill. He came in. It was either Tulsa or Oklahoma City?
No, it was Little Rock. That's why I brought it up.
Little Rock. Oh, that's right. That's right. It was Little Rock. Okay, but anyway, so we worked one show there.
The Holiday Inn. I remember the.
Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Now I got. Yeah, it all just came back. Yeah, I took the party.
The one with the car in the lobby. Oh yeah.
Yes. Nah, I got it all now. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm 57 now too. I'm losing a little bit of
the
stuff.
gun under her pillow.
Exactly. Oh my gosh!
Sleep with undercover cop.
Yeah, it's not a good idea, and well, unless you're on top of your game, and then it could be a good deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we did wrestle. We did wrestle some.
I'm 67. I got a better memory than you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, you got to stay in the lane a little longer than I did. You know, I've been out here in the real world. You know, it's been a little different. All right. Anyway, back to December of or whatever it was of 2004.
Yeah, so December of '84. It doesn't seem like business is super hot at the time for Jim Crockett. And they weren't even on WTBS at the time. They wouldn't get back until March of '85. This is when Vince still had that spot for just a little while longer on WTBS. And in order to come into the promotion, you left a pretty good deal with Bill Watts in Mid-South. What led to making that decision, and who recruited you, or what were you promised, or how did that all come about?
I recruited him.
Yeah, well, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Rick opened the door. And then when Barry came, and then Barry left kind of unceremoniously and left him kind of, without that baby face in that spot, Jim Crockett and Dusty gave me a call, and I was making more money than I ever made in my life. Back in that time, make $2,000 a week was huge money, and for me that was like I was a rock star. And we were selling out in Mid-South, but I knew what the potential was with the Crockett organization and where they wanted to go with everything. So, it was, you had to sometimes take a leap of faith, and that's what I did, because I knew that if that, first of all, I knew I had to get there to chase Rick. I mean, I wasn't going to chase Rick from Mid-South, and I mean, my dream from day one was to be a world's heavyweight champion, and so you had to be in the game with the NWA for that to be a potential, and so it was the right thing to do. But it was a step out, and and Jimmy couldn't guarantee he could match what I was making there, but he did give me a fair guarantee, and he was a man of his word. I exceeded every week what his minimum was. He promised me, and and when we did get on TBS, then it just took off.
Yeah, but it's phenomenal. He was there. People don't remember, unless you follow closely. Bill had, the Midnight Express. He had the Rock and Roll. He had Junkyard Dog. He had Terry. He had Terry Taylor, Steve Williams, the Freebirds.
Jim Duggan.
I mean, Jim Duggan, and he was rolling. I mean, I went there for a week one time, and this is unheard of, and people still don't believe me. I made $12,000 working for Bill Watts.
Wow.
And he never paid. I mean, he paid me great, because he couldn't. we were sold out every night. It was insanity. But I called Jimmy. I said, this Magnum, well, first of all, Terry's from Norfolk, Virginia. He had an amateur background from Old Dominion, right? It's his backyard. Right. He looked exactly like Magnum TA, only better looking and with a better body and some muscle than Tom Selleck had. No offense, Tom, but Terry was built pretty damn good. So, and he wasn't a basketball player; he was a wrestler. So, but he had that look. It was imagine, and that the gimmick came around, and he flew with it. And God, the girls, in my lifetime, the 4 bay faces that attracted the female fan base more than anybody I've ever seen in my whole career were Kerry Von Erich, Ricky Morton, Magnum, and Steamboat.
Wow.
I mean, Tommy Rich too. I'll throw Tommy in there, but I mean, that's back when there was a definitive following. But now it's a guy's soap opera. But in the old days, the girls loved the wrestling. I mean, it was like rolling dice. You just walked in the lobby of the hotel and went, "Let's do it."
Oh my gosh!
It was insanity. No, you can't even tell anybody what it was like because they wouldn't believe you. It was absolutely nuts. It was really was.
I was a bad guy and I was getting some.
Yeah, we won't even go there, but it was special. It was special. And you put the girls in the building and the guys came in the building because the girls were in the building, and it was just it was insanity. Walking in that old Charlotte Coliseum, trying to get from the back door to the dressing room was like running the gauntlet. If you didn't get all your clothes ripped off from the back door to the front, you were doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, how about Baltimore? I mean, you name the town, man. I'm saying, I'm listening to this because I mean, everybody liked Hulk a lot, and everybody, but with a different time, and that our business really. Not that it doesn't now, but it had a huge following by young girls, and it was unbelievable. You could hold these guys down for 6 seconds, and the crowd was going crazy. Really, and Morton was great. Terry, I mean, I got to throw Tommy Rich in there too, but Steamboat and Kerry Von Erich, my God, he walked on water in Texas. It was unreal. So, but for a guy like me to be able to work with these guys, it was effortless. It wasn't like I had to be a rocket scientist. I just got in the ring and had fun, and we all had. That's the main thing. We just had fun. We couldn't wait to get to the arena, and we couldn't wait to get to the bar.
Yeah, and it's true. And I remember that month we did all those hour Broadways off the TBS thing.
Yeah,
and it was. I mean, it was. I'd always heard of people going hour Broadways, and I'd never done one before. I did one with you. And I'd always thought, gosh, that's just got to be horrendous. And it was such a pleasure to do. It wasn't a task. It wasn't a chore. It was just, it was something that was magic. And we'll never see that era again.
Once you get through that first one, it's always nerve-wracking going into it. I remember my first one, but once you get through it, and if your opponent, which 90% of the time later in my career was a guy that was over when I first got the belt. I was wrestling guys that had no clue and were not ready to wrestle an hour. It was terrible. But the second time around, the company gave me the opportunity with Harley, and then I started working with guys that got. I mean, a lot of guys don't realize Dusty used to wrestle me an hour all the time. It wasn't just 2 or 3. I probably did 50 or 60 Broadways of the Dream. He was over so big in Florida, it was easy. It was just coasting. And back then, the NWA reinforced that rule. Well, either you win or you go an hour. So it made it easy. But the fans bought it. They were used to it,
Yeah.
Well, a minute ago, you mentioned Barry Windham and Ricky Steamboat. So let's talk about when you were first coming into Crockett. Windham.
Well, I got to throw Barry in that group too. He was. We call him the White Owl. He did pretty good too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Sorry,
Barry was the top babyface in the promotion before you got there, and after he leaves and goes to work with Vince, it looked like Steamboat was poised to be the number one babyface. But then you come in and kind of take that spot, and Steamboat doesn't leave until like February of '85. In your brief time together in that locker room, what was your relationship like with Ricky Steamboat?
Oh, I love being around because I had, as a teenager, watched, him and Youngblood when they were tag team partners. And I was a big Ricky Steamboat fan because he was one of the first guys with him and Snuka and, guys that had these crazy physiques and could, work the way they did in the ring, I was a fan before I met him, and then to get to work around him and with him a little bit was just, was fantastic.
And Wahoo McDaniel is one of Rick's favorites. We talk about him all the time on the show. And by the time you were on the scene, he was the aging veteran of the territory. And in your first program, he put you over clean in a U.S. title match. That was the main event on Worldwide Wrestling in March of '85. Rick has always been campaigning for Wahoo to be in the Hall of Fame, but how was he to work with here since he was on the way out of the territory? Was that a good experience, and what did you like about working with him?
Oh, it was an awesome experience, and again, I used to watch him and Johnny Valentine beat the just crap out of each other. So I was a fan of Wahoo's, and I tell people to this day that for him to pass the U.S. title to me the way he did, clean right in the middle of the ring, 1, 2, 3, and sold out in Charlotte and fans going insane was just such a classy thing. And he was just a man's man. He was a great credit to the business. Hasn't ever got the accolades, to me that he should get for what he accomplished in the business. But, I got great memories of Wahoo. He used to come see me at the hospital and laugh and talk, and, man, he's just a great man.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Conrad, you would have enjoyed it, brother. He was a man's man. All he wanted to do was play golf, hunt and fish, and wrestle, and drink, and the other. He's the only guy alive, and this is a true story, and Chief, I'm not talking behind your back. He got diabetic. He got diabetes, right? And they put him on insulin. So what Wahoo would do, he was absolute insanity. He would take double insulin and still drink a bottle of Crown Royal.
Yeah.
Boy, don't tell me what to do. I just double up on the medication. Bring me another Crown Royal.
Oh, my gosh.
That's it.
Oh, my God. No, You have no idea. Those guys, he could eat amphetamines like nobody alive. They'd drink all night, play golf all day, and wrestle an hour that night. It was unbelievable. I'd say, Wahoo, are you going to go to the gym today? Boy, I've been working out my whole life. I'm done going to the gym. He played football for Bud Wilkinson on that team that won 31 straight games, Conrad.
That's unbelievable.
And he had the longest punt in the history of the Orange Bowl. He may still have it. The guy was unreal. He ran a 10 flat 100 at 230 pounds in high school playing football. Unreal. I can't say enough about Wahoo's athletic ability, man. And fearless, holy cow.
I think you alluded to this a minute ago, Rick. This would have probably been around the time you guys were working our Broadways, you and Magnum. Back in September of '85, Magnum finally got a shot at the world title. He'd only been in the promotion 8 or 9 months, but against Rick in Norfolk, it was called Ride for the Gold. And they had shown Magnum riding around the scope in his motorcycle, and he and his mom sitting along in an empty arena. And then the family was in the front row for the match. And both of you guys were baby faces at the time. Just to keep our timeline straight here, the Horseman wouldn't beat up Dusty in a cage for a few more weeks. So in the promo leading up to this match, Rick says he's bringing his black hat to face Magnum in the match. And I'm going to play that for everybody because it was a cool way to kind of show that even though these guys are both baby faces, this is Magnum's hometown. He's the baby face tonight, and Rick is going to wear his black hat.
Magnum TA, the whole world, Magnum, they're betting on you here and there. The whole world talking about it. Some of them betting on Flair, some of them betting on Magnum TA. Norfolk, Virginia is the place, Magnum. Your hometown. Your mother, your father, your grandparents, all of them sitting ringside, front row. Well, Magnum, remember, my friend, you and I might have shook hands at one time, but when I walk that aisle, I'm going to be wearing my black hat, brother, and I'm going to be as mean and nasty and bad as I have to be. Nothing personally, understand? I just like making $1 million a year. Woo! And I love being the world heavyweight champion. Woo!
And this was a big deal, and it put Magnum, in my opinion, on the map as a main event player and a legit contender for the world title. Magnum, what are your memories of this match and this angle and the build and all that?
Well, it was like, it's like something you write out of a storybook, because here I am, the hometown kid, and, I grew up there. I've got friends in Norfolk and Tidewater, Virginia Beach, Chesapeake. I've got my mom and dad and both sets of grandparents in the stands, watching me wrestle for the world's heavyweight title. I mean, if you want to have a storybook, that was it, and it was unbelievable. We held the indoor attendance arena there in that building for a long time from that match. It was pretty amazing.
And you know what the hardest problem was with that after the match was keeping Magnum's dad married, because where we went, he came. Good Lord.
Yeah.
You need to go home. Hell no, I'm not going home.
Yeah. My dad got.
He couldn't wait. He started showing up at matches in other cities.
Yeah. Well, we took him to Hawaii. Remember?
I know. Are you kidding me?
Yes. He was on that infamous trip.
Yeah. Honey, I'm just going to see my son. I'll be home shortly. Are you kidding me? Hey, Conrad, there were some bars in Virginia Beach. Besides September's, what's the one that was so great that the guy went to jail, Terry?
Rhodes was the big one that we were at.
God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Peabody's? Are you shitting me? Oh my God.
You run into the door asking me for a $100 bill to get the guy to play Pink Cadillac one more time.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Oh God. We're riding down the road with Arn in the car, right? In the rental car. And on September's it says, "Welcome Ric Flair and Arn Anderson, ladies' night." It's September. Arn said, "I'm going to kill you, mother. You son of a bitch." I didn't tell him to put that up there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I had any influence. Like, I could influence the guy to put the sign up. Oh, my God. No wonder we're all...
Well, yeah, it's the wonder we're all here, period.
Yeah, exactly. But good times and a good life. And it's so nice that you come into the holidays, be able to reflect on some great memories. And those times together. And Mag you were an only child like I was, right, Terry?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And to be able to wrestle in front of your parents and do that. I only got to do that one time. The irony of that is the time it's with Vader when, Leon got upset last week about it. But the first time my mom and dad saw me ever wrestle for the title, the first and only time. And then Megan, David, Ashley, Reed, everybody was there. It was a cool moment. And those moments are really hard. Some guys never have that opportunity to, share that with their family. So it's a great deal, and he had that. And, thank God for the opportunities that afforded us and the good health that we're all, maintaining. And Terry has got no current health issues, but he deals with a disability, not disability with the unfortunate accident, and looks great. And just so thrilled to be able to talk to you. And hopefully, I'm going to see you Monday night. Hopefully, before you see that, I'll be at Del Frisco tonight in case you happen to wander that way, kid.
Yeah, well, I tuck myself in early these these days. About the time my 9-year-old twins go down, I'm not far behind them.
Yeah, well, okay, well, mine aren't there, and I'm in Charlotte alone, and something Wendy's not crazy about, but that's okay.
Oh man.
Yeah, Wendy will be here at 8:00 tonight. So I'm actually having one right now.
There you go. All right.
And Papo's Tacos and Tequila.
Rick, before we wrap things up with Magnum, let's talk a little bit about what could have been. It is Thanksgiving, so it's kind of Starrcade season. Lots of folks believe that Starrcade 87 would have been when Magnum finally won the world title from Ric Flair, and everyone from the Dustys to the Crockett's on down the line have said that Magnum was groomed to be the world champion. Do you guys remember how specific the plans were for this title match that we never really got to see pay off?
Well, to my knowledge, it was going down. It was, something we'd all talked about, and it was going down. So, I can't remember all of it, but, Dusty had really taken Terry under his arm. They had a great relationship, and you have to remember at that time there were about 5 guys that wanted it bad. Ted DiBiase wanted it. I'm at a loss. I think one of the Von Erichs. There were some people in the running, but Crockett had had put himself in a position where he basically was the lead guy in the NWA, where in the old days it had been Eddie Graham and the Funks and Fritz Von Erich and Sam Mushnick, but Jimmy had taken that position away from him and had a lot more control over it. So, it's my belief that would have happened, but I know, Terry, you maybe have a different position than I have.
Well, no, I don't know why we were there, but I know Jimmy and Dusty were in New York when they laid it out to me that, formally that this was the move that they were planning on, making and didn't tell me, still exactly when. But, the funny thing I think back on it in retrospect was, everybody had a vision of what they saw the future, being. And, Rick, it wasn't even warmed up yet. Rick was just his best was still yet to come. And everybody was talking about, well, we want the youth and the this and the that and the other, like Rick was Jack Nicklaus or something. And he wasn't even in his mid stride yet. So I know had we had the opportunity of doing it, that we would have been dancing around back and forth with that for many years to come, and it's fun to think about, and the woulda, shoulda, couldas. But I'm still a great fan of the sport, and I've watched his career and some of my other friends as well, and I'm just very thankful to have had that time in the limelight with a lot of really good friends.
Hey Terry, talk about because I obviously saw you there. What the loss of the dream means to you? Being an only child, he was as close a thing as a brother to me that I've ever had. And our relationship that started back in the early 80s down in Florida, transcended, the wrestling industry. After I had the accident and, working with him and other endeavors and in WCW thing, but just the friendship that we had throughout time, I've never imagined Dusty not being around. And I just seen him, 4 or 5 months prior to him passing away. And I knew he didn't look like himself because Dusty was always a big, robust, guy. And he looked frail for the first time I'd ever seen him. Where I could say, it's good. Everybody say, "Oh, well, it's good. He's lost some weight," but that wasn't the way Dusty was wired. So something was wrong. No,
and he said to me that and he said to me, I've got something I thought I was going to be able to take care of on my own, but obviously my Indian medicine isn't working too good. He was telling me because he always liked to think he could, treat everything. He's kind of that cowboy mentality. And I was just shocked. And I don't know if you know this or not, Rick, but he passed away on my birthday. And
is that
I was
right?
coming home. Yeah. I'm coming home from work, and a coworker calls me before it's even hit the news and heard it on something on Sirius Radio or something. The Dusty passed. And I'm freaking out because and it wasn't even on the internet yet. And all of a sudden I started Googling things and checking it out and find out, sure enough, he really did. And I was completely in shock. And then I thought to myself, that scoundrel, I said, now he's going to make sure I remember this every year forever. He died. He passed away on my birthday, and I went down. I was down with you guys in Tampa for that ceremony and everything. It's just he was like Babe Ruth. He was just an amazing character.
Yeah, he was, and so nobody. I mean, I've told Vince 100 times. They actually gave him his just due. If that makes sense. And now they've got this tag team tournament named after him. And even though Cody left on what looked like bad terms, they worked that out. And Dustin's doing great still. Dustin's working better than he's worked. Not better, but he's at the same level he's always been. He's in good shape.
Oh, yeah, he's doing awesome.
And Cody is taking some time off, but Cody will end up back there, and he's making so much money in the independents and working less. He's probably enjoying it. So I talked to Cody
I think it's good
time.
for him to find. Yeah, I think it's good for him to kind of. He wants to find out what he wants to be, because I think he was kind of stuck in a bubble where he wasn't.
He's got too much talent to be wearing the paint and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so he's too young and too talented. Did you see him on the Arrow? Did you see him play that heel character on the Arrow?
I did not, because I don't watch. I watch SportsCenter. It's my life.
Yeah, well, I just did it because I knew he was going to be on it, and he was awesome. I mean, he's a hell of an actor, and he came across great on film. So. Who knows where he'll end up? He's got it all ahead of him.
He's got a beautiful wife, great support system. I talk to Michelle all the time. Everybody, they're all in a good place. So we'll always celebrate the moment. And I can't thank you enough for taking the time today, Terry, before Thanksgiving. Conrad, you got anything else to ask him?
Well, we can't let him go. We can't let you go, sir, without talking about Tully Blanchard, your most famous feud, the cage match that people still talk about, the I Quit match. Baby Doll was involved. George South has jokingly said that Baby Doll threw a stiffer punch than most of the boys. You guys went around the loop with Tully saying he never said I quit. He just said yes, yes, yes. Just iconic stuff that is kind of an anniversary date of sorts. Carry us through what that match meant to your career and your memories of that whole angle and feud you had with Tully.
Well, it's first of all, it's just amazing the fact that that match, that centerpiece match has been, talked about and for so many years after the fact. I mean, I had no idea when we were in the midst of doing it was going to have that kind of impact in the history of wrestling. But, Tully and I met when I was working for his dad, Joe, and when I had only been in the business 6 months. And, he told me straight up he wanted to be the best heel in the business one day. That was his goal. And when I met him a couple of years later, when I got a chance to come work for Jimmy and was working on top, and I had some seasoning and was in a different place than what I'd done the first time, he was a great match for me because he was hungry. And he had this intensity in the ring as a heel, like I had the intensity in the ring as a babyface. So when you put us in the ring together, it was quite a contest of just the pace and everything that Tully was able to maintain and keep. He only had like one gear, and it was like wide open. So it was a great experience, and it was something that. To this day, like I said, people talk to me about three things. They talk to me about Rick. They talk to me about the I Quit match with Tully and the Best of 7 series with Nikita. And, and my whole in-ring career, spanned 6 years. And wow. It's the things that I get to reminisce with people about. Jim Ross was telling me that too. He said, gosh, I didn't realize it was just 6 years, but it was. I started in 1980 and 1986. Had that career-ending deal, and I packed a lot in a short period of time.
You did. I didn't realize. I would have thought it was more like 10 years myself. I'm glad you just brought that to my attention. Yeah, you did, my guy. Well, you know what? You were that good and you're in the right position, and you pulled it off, and that's what matters. And God only knows what would have been on the other side if not for this, the unfortunate accident. But you're in a good place.
Well, the truth of the matter is, yeah, I am, and I miss you guys. I miss my friends. I miss being able to, of course, go out there and perform in front of the fans and do the things that I love to do. But what I've been able to have in way of a family life and relationship with my kids, honestly, I wouldn't trade for 100 World Championships, because, I mean, you got to, you talk about what Michael Hayes and these different guys have to do, their commitment to the industry to make the product what it is. And you've got to give it your all. I mean, we gave it everything we had, and you don't have enough of you left to do hardly anything else. So I'm thankful for what I have been able to do rather than, what I missed out on.
Yeah. Well, that's a very nice thing to say, because you certainly made an impression on a lot of people, myself included. And Conrad, you can obviously tell, studies the business, thinks you're awesome. So
absolutely, and everybody should hear the full story. There's a great new documentary that Magnum has out that everybody should check out. It's called I Never Quit. It was put together by Michael Elliott, who put together the really critically acclaimed Jim Crockett Promotions Good Old Days documentary a few years ago. It's brand new. It's available on DVD or digital download at highspots.com. It's called I Never Quit, the Magnum TA story. They dig into all the good stuff that we've covered today, and they also touch on the Nikita Koloff Best of 7 series, the Great American Bash 1986, and what a historical tour that was. The involvement of Magnum's mother, Marion, and a lot of this is also a nice little Easter egg. You'll enjoy it. It's called I Never Quit, and you can also check out his brand new action figure that the WWE's released. It's the Magnum TA Elite Series collectible. Anything else we can promote or touch on for you today, sir?
Yeah, hey, Nate, isn't that something? 30 years after the fact, I get immortalized in plastic after 30 years. Isn't that pretty funny?
I think it's great. It's great. I have something smart to say, but I can't say it because I'll get a comeback from the WWE. But anyway, you're on.
Oh no, man, that was cool.
I will see you Monday night, and actually, Conrad and I will be available at hotel in Charlotte Sunday afternoon. If you feel the need to stop by and can still have a cold beer, do it. Conrad, of course, will be on his usual Crown Reserve, be on Jack and Diet Coke, and I'll be drinking red wine or vodka.
All right.
If you can get a pass,
no kamikaze? No kamikazes?
No, I'm done with all that.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, please.
Good deal.
Hey, we'll see you either Sunday, but Monday for sure, man.
All right, I look forward to it, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the time.
Listen, if you feel like you can break out tonight, I'll be at waiting on you, champ.
All right, bud. Well, thank you for the invite, but I will definitely see you. I will definitely see you by Monday night at the latest.
I think that means a no. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving, Terry. Thanks, man.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Take care.
Thank you,
best
sir.
to your beautiful family. Bye.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
That was good, huh?
How about that? Magnum TA, one of the most talked about characters in the entire Jim Crockett Promotions run, and we finally catch up with him here today. That
was good, huh?
It was awesome. It was super fun to catch up on what might have been, man.
This week on MLWRadio.com. Jim Cornette's in the hot seat this week on the network's flagship show, MLW Radio. Corny, Courtbauer, and MSL talk Goldberg over Brock. Is NXT a feeder system, CM Punk's next fight, and booking WWE in 2017? Over in the writer's room, ex-WWE head writer Alex Greenfield talks Survivor Series, Raw, and NXT with former WWE writer Robert Karpelis on the MLW VIP-only podcast. Out now, Eric Bischoff talks wrestling and politics with Brodus Clay on Bischoff on Wrestling. And recover from Thanksgiving with a shot of something to wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and Conrad as they talk buyers, sex scandals, and more. It's TNA Wrestling Chapter 2. Finish off the week with MSL and Kevin Sullivan as they break down wrestling and talk WCW on Friday. Plus much more. The world of MLW Radio never stops. Go to MLWRadio.com and binge on pro wrestling talk from those that have worked at the top levels. Now.
If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. Woo!
Don't miss a minute of The Ric Flair Show. Subscribe on iTunes now.
In Ric Flair, who you're looking at, the man. Woo!
Woo! The Ric Flair Show.
With an erection that is so rigid, you can strike matches on it.
And now, more Ric Flair. Time for This Week in History, brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You don't need to choose between price and quality to get an amazing and affordable shave. DollarShaveClub.com's the answer. To prove how amazing their shave really is, right now, they're going to give you your first month free to join the club at DollarShaveClub.com/Flair. That's DollarShaveClub.com/Flair.
Starrcade 83, what can you say about it except fabulous, Gordon? That's the only word I can think of.
Hey, I'll tell you what, it is a flair for the gold. There's no question about it. And boy, that's the one we're waiting for. Ric Flair, Harley Race, the World Heavyweight Championship coming up. And that's something that, I just hope that nobody's missing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next event of the evening is a cage match. One fall with a 60-minute time limit. This is a cage match. One fall with a 6-minute time limit. No disqualification for the World Heavyweight Championship. Special referee appointed for this match is former professional wrestling great from Vancouver, British Columbia, Gene Kiniski. Gene Kiniski. Introducing first, ladies and gentlemen, the challenger and former world's heavyweight champion from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 240 pounds, ladies and gentlemen, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. His opponent, the world's heavyweight champion from Kansas City, Missouri, weighing in at 255 pounds, Harley Race.
And Flair may be having some problems with his vision right now. His face absolutely covered in...
Down goes the referee. I think you're right, Gordon, and I think he could be. Race caught him with a knee right into the midsection. Now back to the corner. You got him cornered, and he's going to fight his way out.
Flair,
the referee's still down
right
on his knees, and the referee in trouble right now. Here's Flair up on the top rope.
He's got him down. 1, 2, 3. He did it. He did it. Ric Flair has done it. No question about it. Ric Flair has just defeated 7 times world heavyweight champion Harley Race. And there you see it, and I'm not even sure that Flair is even aware. Yes, he is. You can tell now. He realizes it. His goal has been reached. His great achievement in life in winning the World Heavyweight Championship for a 3rd time. And you can see the crowd and how excited and pleased they are.
To try and explain what a major part all of you have played in this would take a long time, but I want you to know that each and every one of you that are here tonight, and each and every one of you that were out in the closed circuit locations, this is the greatest night of my life, and I can't thank you. Thank you very, very much.
All right, Rick, let's get to This Week in History, and this is Thanksgiving week, so this is a pretty easy one. It's November 24th, 1983. We're at the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina. The event, Starrcade 83, a flair for the gold. Everybody remembers in the main event you challenged Harley Race inside a steel cage for the world title. Set the stage for us. What are your favorite memories for the build of this match, and where does this date rank as far as your all-time most important in your career?
Well, if you look at what that brought forward or where that took me, that has to be called the greatest moment of my career. We've talked about the fact that I consider the greatest moment of my career to be my retirement. But now as I look at it, and I'm asked all the time, the greatest moment of my career has been superseded by the fact that my daughter has become who she is and what she is in this great business. And I think she's the best performer, man or woman, in the WWE. And I'll argue that point with anybody.
What did this match with Harley Race mean between the two of you? Was Harley excited to drop this to you, or was it something he begrudgingly did?
Nobody's ever excited to lose. But I think he knew he'd had his run, and he liked me a lot. And I think he, I can take pride in this statement, that if he had to lose with anybody, it was me. You know, he didn't get there till 9:30 that night, so we were all wondering. And the night before, obviously, he was in New York with Vince McMahon, so everybody was on pins and needles. So that's another story.
Yeah, we need to have Harley on the show and talk about that. But go back and watch it. This Thanksgiving weekend, you're going to have some extra time with the family. Check it out. Starrcade 83. It's on the WWE Network, and it's this date in history. It just so happens that even in 2016, it's on Thanksgiving night. We'll be right back with more Ask Naitch and the voicemail of the week.
You're listening to The Ric Flair Show.
Is there anything I need to know about you?
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
And now, more Ric Flair. Ask Naitch is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Looking for the perfect gift? Let me tell you about Omaha Steaks and how for only $49.99 you can get Ric's Family Gift Pack when you go to omahasteaks.com and enter Ric's code NATION. That's 77% off at omahasteaks.com. Just use promo code NATION. If you'd like to ask Rick a question, just tweet using hashtag AskNaitch, and we could ask your question next week on the show.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
All right, Rick, this week's question comes to us on Twitter from Rob Sackett, and he has a fun question. If there was a wrestling Mount Rushmore, who would Rick pick to be featured? Hashtag AskNaitch.
A wrestling Mount Rushmore.
So the top 4 guys in the history of the industry, fans love to debate this, but I'm curious, as you know, the greatest of all time, who would be on your Mount Rushmore?
Well, my Mount Rushmore wouldn't be who that people think it should be. That I obviously would have Shawn Michaels there. You have to put Stone Cold there. And there's just so many different ways that you can't. If you look at what people have done for the business, you have to have Hulk there. I feel personally like I belong there, but I don't know that it wasn't about my level of performance or my work ethic or anything, but it's where I was when the business was hot, and that was in a company that was struggling and fledging along or treading along. So I like Shawn, The Rock, not The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Austin, and I got to put Undertaker in there somewhere.
Well, there you go. That's certainly not the lineup I would have imagined you would have picked. I thought you would have went with more old timers, but I'm in. I like it. Hogan.
Well, how do you knock the Taker out of it? Considering what he's done for the business. Number one, number two, Hogan for what he did in the business, and Shawn as being probably the greatest in-ring performer. And people recognize Shawn as being great, but he never gets that worldwide bounce, or you know what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, he is that damn good. So, but anyway, that's just an opinion. But I can't leave Hulk off. I certainly can't leave Steve off, and I can't leave Shawn off. And I mean, how do you leave the Undertaker out of it? Jesus, 25 years or 22 years of being the man? Hell.
No, it's hard to beat. So there you go. There's the Nature Boys Mount Rushmore. Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. We've got this week's voicemail of the week.
Woo-woo. Voicemail of the week, brought to you by lootcrate.com/Flair, and use promo code Flair to save another $3 off an already incredible value. Over $60 worth of WWE swag for less than $20 at lootcrate.com/Flair. If you'd like to be next week's voicemail of the week, just call the Ric Flair Show hotline, 844-RIC-SHOW. Leave your name, city you're from, and your hot take. If you've got what it takes to style and profile on the show, call now. Toll free, 844-RIC-SHOW. Now, here's this week's voicemail of the week.
Hey, Rick and Conrad, this is Steven from Loudon, New Hampshire. Got a quick question for the Nature Boy. Do you have any funny stories of you carrying around the belt from town to town back in the day? I'd love to hear some funny stories of maybe some ribs somebody tried to pull on you with it or anything. Woo!
All right, Rick, a pretty fun voicemail this week. You were the champ for like 10 years, so there have to be some funny road stories you can share about the belts. Did anybody pull any ribs or any sort of interesting travel stories with the belts you can share with us?
No, I had one girl take it home one night and I had to hire a private eye and had to find it in 48 hours. In Houston, Texas. Good old Jana. I don't know. Let me think. I can't think of anything more. I mean, people that have worn them in conspicuous places.
Well, I think there's lots of rumors and innuendo out there about people wearing the belt while they were wrestling, I guess is the word we'll use.
Yeah, that's a good word.
Yeah. How common was that?
You want to be a champion tonight, sister? Oh, yeah, I know. Just
did you drop
entertaining myself along the way.
Did you drop the belt more in the ring or out of the ring?
Oh, I dropped it out of the ring a lot more.
Oh my gosh! So
sometimes I got beat twice tonight. Once in the ring and then later on. A lot more times than you would think.
That's hilarious. Well, let's get out of here, man.
Please leave my robe when you leave the room.
Here's a fun question, just freestyle.
Just take my Rolex. Leave the belt and the robe, please.
How many robes have you had stolen over the years?
Oh God, I added up the other day. Just my ex-wife is 11.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
And there's probably how many total? 35? 40?
Around 35, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get out of here, man. But first, catch us up. Where are you headed this weekend? I know you're going to WrestleCade on Saturday. You're trying to get to that Ohio State-Michigan game that afternoon. What else you got coming down the pike that we can promote?
You can promote you and I at Hotel in Charlotte getting drunk with watching pro football on Sunday.
Yeah, there's going to be a beep in there.
I'll be consoling you after Auburn kicks Alabama's ass on Saturday.
Hey, how's Iowa doing?
Iowa?
Yeah.
What's Iowa got going? What's going on with that?
They beat the shit out of Michigan. That's what's going on with them.
Oh, goodbye. Jesus Christ.
Let's give some Twitter plugs to our friends.
Something? Everybody's got to make the schedule interesting. Not
Alabama. It will not be interesting with Alabama. They're going to steamroll Auburn this weekend, smash Florida in a couple of weeks. It's done.
Okay. Well, I get the smash in Florida. I'm not arguing that with you. But you got a playoff game this weekend, okay? And Alabama's not in it, so.
No, that's true.
You'll have to admit that Michigan-Ohio State game is big.
It's the biggest of the year, for sure. No doubt.
Yep. Okay, kid.
Let's give some Twitter plugs to our friends, our great sponsors at Indo Chino, at Omaha Steaks, at Dollar Shave, at Loot Crate, and, of course, the show here, at Ric Flair Show. I am at Hey, it's Conrad. Our engineer, the man behind the man, at Jerome Fisher VO, and, of course, our great friends at Mid-Atlantic Gateway. Nature Boy, have a good Thanksgiving. I will see you Black Friday, sir.
Okay, my friend. Get back here fast. Woo-woo.
This is the MLW Radio Network.
I've broken down, Churchy. Cars like me belong in the fast lane, not the hard shoulder.
Oh, yes.
Oh, now I'm really going to blow a gasket.
No. Don't end up stranded when you break down. Churchill offers new motor customers free breakdown cover.
Oh, Churchy, my knight in furry armour.
Oh.
Churchill, depend on the dog. First year free breakdown service provided by Green Flag, roadside only. New business policies only. Excludes NI, underwritten by UK Insurance Limited. Terms and conditions apply.